Where did it go? Wait, where did it go? Hey, sorry, I was looking for where all the weeks went. I mean, it feels like just last week we kicked this series off, and now we're already in part four. It feels like it just flew by. Well, anyway, I hope that the women watching in particular, since this series is obviously called Dear Women, that you've benefited and been encouraged by this series so far. This week, I hope, will not be any different, that you'll be encouraged and inspired as well. But today's clip that I have to show us of Erika, it's a little bit longer than last week's and the week before. But that's okay, because it's not longer by much, but just enough. And there's a lot of points that she makes that I really want to highlight on the back end that I feel is good to kind of unpack and dive a little bit deeper and explain a little bit more. So with that said, I want to go ahead and kick things off. So cue the intro.
Don't worry about the school. Don't worry about the job. I actually think that that's some form of feminism, to be so caught up in, I have to have this career and I have to have this and I have to that. It's a distraction. The enemy loves that, but it's a total distraction. I think that anxiety is what feminism is all about for what they want. They want you to be anxious. They want you to be on antidepressants. They want you to be numb. They don't want you to feel. They don't want you to feel. So I want to release you from that. Don't shrink back. This world and this generation needs women who echo the gospel. This world needs women who are marked by the cross. So my mission for all of you after you leave here, please go confuse the culture. Confuse the crap out of it. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but confuse them. Go and confuse them. Do not conform to it. Let them stare at you. Let them write the meanest Instagram comments. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. And while they're doing all of that, because that's just noise, build your family. Go raise a family. Go build a life of holy defiance. Go love your husband. Go love your babies. Go teach your children how to blaze a trail of glory. Go lead in truth and go be the light. You don't have time for their noise. Don't seek their applause. It's not even worth it. Not even worth it. Go fulfill your purpose, because you just need Jesus.
I don't know about you, but there was so much good stuff that she just talked about in that clip. And I really want to highlight these certain points. I got 4 points that I want to kind of run through and highlight real quick. So the first one is what she talked about. She's saying that anxiety is what feminism is all about. And then she kind of expands upon it a little bit. She says that they want you on antidepressants. They want you numb. And kind of like what I mentioned in last week's video, this whole girl boss era, this lie that a lot of women have bought into, that the mark of success is to climb the corporate ladder, to chase that money, make sure that you have this status symbol in society, that you're rich, that you're recognizable, name recognition, all of this stuff. So most women have bought into this lie that that's what success is. So you spend your whole life chasing the money, the status, the position in the workforce, and then you find yourself at the end of the day, you go home to an empty house. No kids, no husband, no support system, nobody that you can lean on when times get tough, when things are hard. And so you find yourself depressed. So then the only way to continue down this path that you've paved for yourself, that you feel that perhaps maybe you're too far gone, you're too far down this path, there's no way I can just switch and do something else now. I'm too old. Whatever it is that you tell yourself. So the only way to keep going down this path that is now felt empty and meaningless and unfulfilling is to pop pills, antidepressants. And you take these antidepressants just to help keep you going down this path or uh, life that you have now created for yourself, but you still feel numb inside. Like I said it in last week's video, at the end of your life, when you look back on your life, are you going to regret having kids? If you took the route of having kids, are you going to regret having kids or having a husband, people that love you and care for you? No. You're not going to look back on your life and regret, man, I wish I climbed the corporate ladder a little bit more. I wish I got that status symbol. No. You'd regret not having kids. You'd regret not experiencing that. And that's, I think, what her whole theme was, is anxiety is what feminism is all about. They want you anxious because they want you on the antidepressants because that makes the pharmaceutical companies rich. Think about that. Think about that. They want you anxious because they want you on the antidepressants because it makes the pharmaceutical companies rich. So it's not really about they want you to be successful, because what is success? What is success? Is it really the status in society? Or is it having a family and having people that love you? Is that what success is? Having a home, not just a house, but a home. The second point that she kind of talked about in there that I want to highlight and kind of address is this, when she said that this world and generation needs women that echo the gospel. She said, this world needs women who are marked by the cross. It is so true. It is so, so true. I feel that that is what's lacking a lot, is women are not marked by the cross. They're marked by society and status and what that looks like, what their resume looks like, if it's filled out all the way, if they are well rounded, if they can keep achieving. That's what they're marked by. They're marked by how successful they are instead of marked by the cross. More women, especially for this generation, needs to echo the gospel, needs to be marked by the cross. Let that sink in and just think about that. Now I know some of you are probably saying, but Alex, you don't get it. You don't get it. In this society, in this world, in where we're at right now, life is so expensive. Not just one person can work and support a family. We have to both work. Do you? Do you? Or do you just have to live smaller? Live within your means. You don't need every new gadget. You don't need the nicest or the biggest house. Maybe that's a goal that you can kind of push towards, But why do you need it right now? Now, some of you are like, well, we don't. We don't live outside of our means. We don't live large. We live within our means, and we're still struggling to make it. I get that. I get that. But hear me when I say being successful in business and society should not be your goal. Your goal should be your family. If you have to work because that is the spot in which you find yourself currently, I get it. But that should not be your end game. That should not be where you just plant your flag and stay and say, well, this is life. This is what it's going to be because this is just how expensive things are. If it requires you to move to a cheaper state, move to a cheaper area so that you can afford a house where now you can downsize and not you both don't have to work, and perhaps maybe even the husband doesn't have to work as much so that you can spend more time with your family, do that. Whatever that might look like, that should be your end goal, is to have a husband, have a family. That that is success. That is success. That is fulfillment. That you won't need antidepressants. You won't need to, try to just keep yourself numb to keep doing this because it's such an empty and hollow life. No. You'll be so fulfilled, you won't need any of that. This third point that she talks about, which was like her mission to the women there as they leave this conference, and she said, "Go confuse the culture." She said, "Confuse the crap out of it," and it's so true. It's so true. That's what I really think. The women watching, that should be your mission, is what she was talking about. Go confuse the culture. Go do something different than what culture tells you is supposed to be normal. Culture says be successful, have a great job, have this status in the world, be a girl boss, be independent. You don't need no help, you don't need a man. Go confuse the culture by living differently. Go confuse the culture by getting married. Go confuse the culture by having kids. Do that. Go confuse the culture by having a family, building a life. And this last point that I just really want to highlight real quick is also what she said. Go build a life of holy defiance. Think about that. Holy defiance. Because that's really what it is. You're living holy because you're kind of doing what the Bible says, right? Being fruitful and multiplying, to get married, right? Like what it says, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and will be united to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So that constitutes marriage. So go get married, go have kids, go be fruitful and multiply, build a life, holy and set apart, like what God wants, and be defiant. Be defiant. Defy what culture says is, oh, really? You want to go have a family? You want to go do that? Defy that. Like, turn away from that, from what culture says is supposed to be the norm. Live a life of holy defiance. I really hope this series has helped you, that it has caused you to ask yourself some questions. Look at yourself in the mirror and take an inventory. What am I doing? Am I on the right path? Am I following God's will? Do I need to implement some changes? Ask yourself these questions. And then implement these changes. Implement the changes. It might not be overnight. It might not be really quick, but start taking steps to implement these changes. Start moving to an area where you don't have to worry about having such a high paying job to be able to afford a place. Frees up more time for you to now kind of be more in social circles than business circles, where you're not trying to always make a business connection and try to get a leg up in the workforce, but perhaps maybe you're trying to meet somebody now, a potential spouse. Whatever the changes look like for you, start implementing these changes. Start doing something about it. So I thank you guys so much for watching this week. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And next week, uh, I'm really hoping to actually have another interview. One of my friends from the military, actually, uh, if all goes as planned, I should be interviewing him about his testimony, which is exciting. So please look forward to that. Like I said, if everything goes as planned. So next week, stay tuned for that. And you guys, the rest of this week, and until then, just stay safe and God bless.